A to the K.
To the K.
To the K. It was all a dream. A WrestleDream.
Hey, nice. Okay. What a tagline.
AEW WrestleDream. Reaction and review.
One of many, evidently. They're going to have loads of these in the future now, aren't they?
Indeed.
It's going to be a regular pay-per-view.
Plan. That's the plan. And we get to see Tony Khan wearing a big red scarf like Antonio Inoki, so why the hell not? But if this
Is
one...
that something we all were asking for?
Apparently so.
Okay.
If this one was anything to go by, then, long may there be many more. But we kicked off. We're not going to do the pre-show. I didn't watch pre-show.
That's fair.
Don't know if you watched pre-show.
No. I mean, do you know what? I will say, this was another one of these pay-per-views. Before we get into it, there was another one of these pay-per-views where I thought to myself, you know what? I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. There's a lot of, people I don't know, and a lot of people I do.
Mm-hmm.
And, what can we make of this? But, overall, fucking solid pay-per-view. I'll put that out there now.
Indeed. I think this is one of them pay-per-views that had something for everybody. Any different match style and type that you want, from the silly and ludicrous to the kind of hardcore, grimacy type stuff to the best technical shit you're ever going to see. So it had loads of awesome stuff, right?
Indeed.
We kicked off the main card, Anthony.
The main card.
Maxwell Jacob Friedman defending the Ring of Honor tag team titles in a 2-on-1 match against the Righteous. On the way down to the ring, he absconded. Is that what? Abscond? What does that word mean? I wanted to say it to sound fancy.
I don't know.
I don't really know. But basically...
is that a word?
I don't know. I probably used it in the wrong context anyway, but it wasn't him. The people who did the attack on Jay White, the four masked men, one of them with the devil mask, he said it wasn't him. So makes you think, well, who was it then?
I mean, to be fair, I know obviously they were trying to make it look like him, but has that not made it more obvious that it wasn't in the first place?
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I'm
saying? Yeah. But anyway, so he said it's not him. So that's the first bit of thing that we cleared up. So we'll find out more, I'm sure. But I honestly thought this was going to be all a big ruse where Adam Cole was one of the masked men. He's turning on MJF. Perfect chance to get the tag belts off them. Put it onto a team like the Righteous, who are pretty righteous. Really like them. But no, MJF beat them on his own.
I do kind of like how he didn't beat them clean.
Well, yeah,
that protects them a little bit, because he had to cheat to win.
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know how much it does protect him, because I'm like, you've got to.
I did say a little bit, because it wasn't like a straight up he battered them.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Anyone knows. I mean, look, he's over there. Anyone knows we love MJF. Absolute fucking legend, and I'm not upset the fact he retained the belt and stuff, and that he won, because we love MJF. But I just thought this was going to be where it happens, and evidently that wasn't the case. But
unfortunately, I will say. Still a good match, not knocking it.
Yeah.
This was probably one of the weaker matches of the night, which is a shame because it's MJF.
The thing is, though, what's good about it, and I think he rightfully went after Bryan Alvarez in the post match because he said it's good for a gimmick match, and he was like, it's not a fucking gimmick match.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed his comments on that because he's right. It's how did he refer to it as bringing back a flavour of ice cream that he loves.
Yeah, exactly. And as I said before, this had the bits of everything, and the fact is, you can't argue with MJF. Who the fuck else on this roster can get over a double clothesline, a kangaroo kick, and a power slam? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he got all them things over. The fans stood behind it. And yeah, he did bring home the win. He's retained the belts, but with Adam Cole apparently having a broken ankle out for some time, what's the plan for the tag belts now?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the story. I don't believe for 1 second he's out for a long time with a broken ankle.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, consider me... part of the sports entertained.
Part of the deception, haven't you?
Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, as you say, it wasn't the strongest match. Right, I'm going to take some unpopular opinion flack for this. Didn't really like this match. I'm not a massive Eddie Kingston fan. I know, I'm sorry, right? He can do a decent promo. I'm not a massive Eddie Kingston guy. I'm sorry, I'm apologetic about that.
I kind of get it. I think people get behind the underdog thing. He's not your conventional wrestler or your most popular wrestler.
No.
But how do I say it without sounding like an asshole? There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
He's not bad by any means, but yeah, I don't think this was a particularly. It was a good match, but not one that was like you're not going to write someone about it. Let's be honest.
No, I feel like Eddie could be so much more than what he is, and that sounds horrible to say, but I just feel like he's kind of phoning it in a bit now. He knows he can talk. He knows that the fans are behind him, and the company's clearly behind him. He's a double champ, but it's missing something for me. It's just the same every time you see him.
Yeah.
So,
what's his motivation?
Exactly. You know what I mean? Bring some more acting chops to the role. But as you say, it was a match. It happened. People are saying it's like fucking immense.
I disagree with that. Okay. It was good. I'm not going to knock the match, but it was, like you say, it was missing something. I think that something was purpose.
Yes, agreed. And that happens sometimes with these kind of shows where you just go, someone rocks up and goes, well, I'll fight you. And it's like, all right then.
But to be honest, Saraya made the point a little bit, because you can't get, and I'm well aware that we are one of those fans that she's referring to when she said this, but somebody referenced the fact that she went on this card.
Yeah.
And she said about obviously the person she's feuding with isn't available. Mm-hmm. And they were like, we'll wrestle someone else. And she was like, well, if it did wrestle someone else, then you'd be like, oh, there's no structure or storytelling, it's just random matches, so no one can win. And it's like, she's kind of got a point, because there is like that balance between story and matches, isn't there? And this was a good match, but it didn't enthrall me.
No, same. So one of them. It was a match and it happened. What did enthrall me though, Julia Hart.
Yeah,
is a
I loved how the crowd got behind her on this one. Like for a split second, I was like, should they give it a win?
To be fair, like I was made up when Stack came back. She beat Jade. Like awesome storytelling. Loved it. Fucking they said Jade again. Julia has been so impressive, I think, for this last year. To go from kind of brand new onto the scene, just learning a trade as a cheerleader for the fucking Varsity Blondes. Just being like, to now this fucking. Has anyone had that level of character development in wrestling?
I honestly don't think so.
She's got she's got the gimmick down. She's got the facial expressions down. She's improved in ring. She's got the whole thing about it.
I feel like they use this match as a display of how much she's improved in the ring.
Yeah, for me, this was one of my top 3 matches of the night, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. This was a really fucking good match, and I feel like this was AEW going, this is where Julia's at now.
Yeah,
because I don't think we've got to see a lot of her in ring, but this was really showing like what she's made of.
It was. I thought, she was phenomenal, and fair play to Stat as well. I think she's obviously had a big part to play in,
of course,
not carrying the match, but being supportive to help.
She was the lead, wasn't she? She was the one who led the match.
Yeah,
because Julia is the newer in the ring. So
yeah,
and it's a dance, isn't it?
Yeah,
and Julia's had an incredibly good dance partner, let's say.
Indeed, and I think Tony said in the post media scrum that this isn't the first time these two have faced off, but it was one of those rematches where it felt completely different. Yeah. Like we've seen it before in a throwaway episode of Dynamite.
I honestly didn't know this isn't the first time they faced off.
Exactly, so. And it's like it was a whole different feel to it.
Julia and a different stats, wasn't it really back then?
Yeah, and you can see how they both evolved as well.
Yeah,
so,
of course, yeah.
Loved it, great match.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
really,
Julia
really
didn't
match.
get the win, but I think big things are in here.
I think it's one of them rare matches as well where you're like, I wouldn't have been upset if she got the win. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Not upset that she didn't. It kind of could have gone either way, quite logically.
Exactly.
So that's you don't get that very often.
No. So I don't know, and I also don't know where it's going to go for either of these from this point now as well. I imagine these two are done for a bit, but I don't know where each of them goes next. Yeah. So be fun to see. Then we got multi-tag action. So 4-way tag team match, and some people love this kind of stuff. I don't mind multi-men, but
I'll be honest, I think
multi-men matches.
I think a 4-way is what I'd rather like. I think that's just too many.
Yeah. 3 ways you can get behind. 4 ways, just too much. Just too much going on, you know.
Exactly.
Overstimulated.
No, but genuinely, like I'm all for like a triple threat tag.
Yeah.
However you want to call it. But I think there's just too many moving parts for me, and I'd struggle to enjoy these.
Yeah, and I think as well,
especially all due respect to Matt and Nick, but it usually results in like, let's all wait for the spot. Yeah. And you're like, this is a bit too like, well, let's get over to this position and do this move now.
It can be a bit of a spot fest. There was just a couple of things to it as well which I thought were off. So obviously Rey Fenix got injured in the match, which apparently wasn't actually, so it's part of the story.
Okay.
It's like, right, okay, so that was weird. Left Penta on his own. We had the random combination of Hook and Orange Cassidy. And it was like, well, why are they together? That didn't make any sense. And then you've got the Bucks winning it, where for me, don't get me wrong, FTR versus the Bucks is ultimately where we're headed. It's always good. We've seen it.
Yeah.
Right? And I wanted the Guns to win, and I know we've seen the Guns versus FTR, but I don't think we've seen the Guns as like what they are now as Bullet Club.
Yeah. No, I think the Guns are in a totally different place right now.
Yeah, and you've kind of got babyface, Bucks and FTR. So it's like, for me, the Guns would have had that, bit of extra
juice.
Yeah. Well, Juice will be there. I love that. That was good. But
Thanks.
yeah, it was just one of them. It was decent. It was fine. But yeah,
again,
wasn't my favourite.
No,
and that's not taking away anything from the Bucks either. But it was just it wasn't my favourite. Tell you what was one of my favourites, Anthony. I've typically not been a massive Swerve fan. Do you know what? I don't think I've said it in the past, but I've thought maybe he's a bit overhyped. I'll eat all the hats.
That's fair. I think, to be honest, I was starting to think this in the last few promos he's done, especially in this particular feud with Adam. I was going to call him Cole.
Let's call him Hangman.
Yeah, with the Hangman. But he's been killing it in this feud. You know, he clearly can go on the mic. And I like you say, there's something about the last couple of months. He's just really proved himself. And I'm on the hype train.
Yeah,
I'm on the Swerve train.
this match was phenomenal. And shout out to Hangman because I think this match made Swerve. It did for me anyway.
Yeah. Because, I would agree with that.
You know, he's done some cool stuff. He had the stuff with Keith Lee and all that, and I was like, I'm not really invested. Yeah. He's had a few stop and starts. On the pre-show now, it's fine. Well, exactly. I've just been kind of like, is it really Swerve's house? Because I ain't digging it, but it could be Swerve's house. Yeah. I'm bought in now. I think this was probably my match of the night.
Damn, that is a bold statement.
Yeah.
And I can get that.
I was thoroughly entertained throughout.
Massively up
the
there.
Near falls,
really good.
Storytelling.
And this is one of the few matches on the card that actually had a really good build up to it.
Yeah.
Like, because we've had weeks of them to...
Yeah, contract signing.
Exactly. So I think this had a lot of build up so that you were so invested in the match going in, and that again makes a world of difference, as we've mentioned with
even
some of the
that
other matches.
Though, like again, I'll be frank. I know that they had
the fuck is Frank?
A to the F, baby. I know it had build, but even that didn't make me go, I'm so excited for this. This is the kind of match where I was like, oh, go on then, let's have a look. And I was like, fuck, this is so good, and it completely like sold me on Swerve. So
I think a good Swerve future. Indeed. Honestly, future world champion, really.
Absolutely. 100% got the potential to do that, which before this match I would have been...
Nah. Yeah, you'd have argued with me on that point.
I would have. So, yes, Swerve, well done. Hangman, well done. Bravo.
Swerve, well done, boys.
Bravo. Golf clap.
We knew you could do it, lads.
So, I'm going to upset some people.
Okay, go on.
I don't care about either of these guys, you know. Really, there's more personality in a fucking wet paper towel than Wheeler Yuta. How can anyone get behind Wheeler Yuta? I just can't. Right? I know what they're trying to do in the Blackpool Combat Club. Not for me. Not a fan. Doesn't belong.
I kind of get it. I get what you're saying. They see something in him talent-wise, but yeah, there's... I think they both lack the same thing.
Yeah. He's just the most mundane wrestler, unfortunately. Yeah. To me, there's nothing about him that makes me go, I can get behind Wheeler Yuta.
If Vanilla was a wrestler,
exactly right. Yeah. And sort of the flip side to that, Ricky Starks could have something, but he's had that many chances now. Like, don't get me like, I love the match with Danielson.
See, it's weird, Ricky Starks, because you can't really say he's not got charisma. But there is something lacking that makes you not really get behind him, and I don't know what that is.
He's had several chances to be like, oh, this is your moment now.
Okay. But it's like, he cut that really good promo against Punk.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, so we can't talk on the mic? No, against MJF, sorry. Was it MJF?
I can't remember. He did something against Punk as well, didn't he, before?
Did he? I can't remember which one that was like, people were like...
Because Danielson had to save the day, because Punk was gone, wasn't he? So.
Yeah. But in any case, I know he can go on the mic, so I don't want to say he's not got charisma. He's in a different. He's definitely in a different level to Yuta when it comes to mic skills. But I just don't know what it, because he's not a bad wrestler either. I just don't know what it is. Like you say, I don't know why it's not clicking.
No, I mean that's it. He has got the tools, but it doesn't click out. And like they've now put him with Big Bill. What the fuck? Where's that come from? Why is he Big Bill?
That's a random pairing of evidence. So,
yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand it. This match for me just was flat.
And this is the sort of the problem. Like, Starks isn't ready to have a match that he's the biggest star, all due respect to him. All the good matches he's had has been carried by the more senior person who was the bigger star, like Bryan or Jericho or Punk or whoever. So you can't really put him with Yuta yet. because then we end up doing this, what we're doing now, where we go, I didn't really care about this match.
Well, exactly. So I hope they figure it out. Yuta, I'm sorry. Please prove me wrong. I just think you're a lost cause, mate.
Prove me wrong, Yuta. Prove me wrong.
That's a horrible thing to say, but I can never see myself being like, I'm a really Yuta guy now. So please prove me wrong. Ricky's got something, not seeing it. Lots of chances, still not seeing it. So what do you do? So yeah, this was a match. It happened. Bathroom break for me, unfortunately. This one, however, was good. I thought.
No, I'd agree with that.
This is Dave Meltzer's wet dream.
Yeah, I'm sure he got his little book of stars out.
Yeah, and I think some people might think like it's a weird thing for me to say. My favorite wrestler, Bret Hart, or even Mr. Perfect, can be looked at as very technical wrestlers. Not this kind of technical wrestling. The stuff they did, as I say, it was a whole plethora of styles on display. This is one of those types of stuff, kind of like an old school catch as catch can, kind of style. It's a lot of kind of, I'm going to slip out of this maneuver, I'm going to turn this into that. Yeah. It was proper, technical match, and it was great. It's exactly what it needed to be. Two of the best technical wrestlers ever to do it did it. And anyone who loves this style of wrestling fucking will have creamed the pants, for sure. Right?
I mean, as far as ratings go, I think this has gone down as quite a highly rated match already.
Well, exactly.
So I think you're probably right in that sense. Like, I get how some people may not have enjoyed it, though.
Yeah, for me, I'm going back to like Swerve and Hangman. I need that little bit more of like near falls and suspense and drama, whereas this is like a great kind of display of technical prowess, but not, you know what I mean? Not my favourite kind of match.
No, I get what you're saying. And like you say, you can't help but admire both of their ability in the ring, but you're right, yeah.
Yeah, so look, it was great. It was a good match. Wouldn't be one of my top three, but enjoyed it.
It's definitely up there, though.
Yeah, no, it's up there, yeah, but just not one of my top three, I don't think. So,
how many stars would you give it, Carl?
We don't operate in star ratings, because even Uncle Dave himself doesn't care about his own star ratings. He goes mental if it's like the whole Kurt Angle thing. Never had a 5-star match. Like, I'm giving 4.5 stars. What's the difference? Well, why give it 4? Why not give it 5 then?
Yeah, if there's no difference.
You just fucking invalidated your whole rating system. Well,
fair point. How'd you get 6?
You fucking suck Dave off. Probably. So, speaking of... I won't say that. Again, probably another Dave Meltzer wet dream. But you know what? Enjoyed this a lot. Don't get me wrong.
Catch me. I love that picture.
Don't get me wrong. Anyone knows. I love Will Ospreay. He's become very rapidly one of my new favourites. We just didn't get to see enough of him. I don't think. He had a couple of exchanges with Kenny, which are always great. But yeah, it just wasn't. It wasn't used in the right way in this kind of match because it was a multi-man and we just didn't get the best of him. But it was still really good. I love the fact that
is Ospreay signed with AEW yet?
Not yet. It's going to happen soon. Yeah, it seems like it. I think high praise to Sammy and Takeshita, to be fair, because you've kind of got Jericho and Ibushi as like your older heads.
Veterans.
Yeah, your veterans. You've got
old heads.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's mad to say this because Ospreay's the same age as Sammy, and I consider Ospreay way more.
That's crazy because Ospreay's like way ahead of him in the wrestling world,
right? But so you've got your veterans in there. You've got your fucking trying to think who else was in the damn match. Kenny, and who else was like the now? Can't remember who the fuck the other person was. This is terrible. Terrible at what we do.
Where's the other guy?
Who the fuck is he? Oh no, yeah. So it's got to be him and Ospreay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Takeshita and Sammy is like your up and comers almost.
That's what's confusing, isn't it? Because Ospreay and
they're on the same
Sammy
team,
are the new guys, really. Yeah.
Right. But I love how it elevated Sammy and elevated Takeshita by being in the ring and being in this kind of match with them.
Yeah.
Which I thought was awesome. And the match itself was full of a load of awesome stuff. The finish, damn squib, baseball bat, screwy finish.
Damn squib with a baseball bat.
Yeah. It's the title of my memoir. So yeah, it was one of them. It was a fun match. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff to follow.
But again, you're just angry you weren't just one-on-one with Ospreay, aren't you?
Of course. just me, one-on-one with Ospreay.
Pin me.
So yeah, it was a good match. I enjoyed it, but yeah, just one of those.
Yeah, fair.
Which takes us to
Some sort of tug of war.
FTR against Aussie Open, and fair play to Mark Davis. He's broke his wrists towards the mid to end point of the match. Carried on with one arm, so fair play. Also a bit of a shame what happens with his with Kyle Fletcher, because this will be the second time now where he's kind of without a tag team partner, because Davis has not long come back from an injury as well.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
So I mean, he's got Sky Blue to keep him company, so I'm sure he'll be all right.
Oh no, broke something again. Yeah, okay. Wait, these are your old X-rays.
So yeah, I don't know what he's going to do without his tag team partner, to be honest. But FTR retain. Match itself, classic tag team wrestling. Two top teams.
The broken bones aside, like, are you happy with the FTR retaining?
Yeah, I think so.
I know where we're leading, obviously. But.
Yeah, I guess we're going to see them in the books again, aren't we? And it's like,
and it's probably all belts on the line.
Yeah. So, well, how would we do that? Well, what belts?
Bucks got some belts right
We got trios.
Fuck, sorry.
Ring of Honor trios.
I thought they had the Ring of Honor tag. I don't know why I thought that.
No,
apologies.
Who is the Ring of Honor thing? I don't know. Oh yeah, MJF.
For fuck's sake.
Damn it.
That's so obvious.
We're good at what we do.
We're good at what we do.
But yeah.
They had belts on their waist, so I just assumed they would be on the line.
Exactly. So yeah, it is what it is. FTR retained. Aussie Open are awesome, but I don't think they were ever really going to win. But I would like to see the Guns against FTR. Looks like we're getting the Bucks versus FTR, so will be fun, but could have been better.
Indeed.
Which takes us to, Anthony, probably one of my three top matches of the night. Christian Cage, Darby Allin.
I mean, how can you not love what happened here?
Brutal, absolutely brutal. Firstly, I think you said it before. People sleep on Christian Cage, man. Like, he's good. He's really good.
He's an absolute ledge, and you know what? I'm not for saying like either of them were the breakout star. Like, and I would even probably defend the point that Edge was the bigger star out of the two of them, but. I think that makes people forget just how good Christian was. Even in WWE days, he was up there with Edge. Edge kind of like, did Christian leave before the whole Rated R thing?
Well, he was back.
I don't feel like he was there and getting overlooked. I feel like he went in WWE around that time.
I think he'd got
the whole Lita thing, you know.
Yeah,
but like he was because it was always. I don't know if you looked at it this way, but like for me, it was always Christian who broke out.
Yeah.
Originally, you know, Edge and Christian split up, and Christian was the one who's like, at last you're on your own, he became a mega heel, and he was fucking awesome, right?
The whole thing with the peeps
and
all
then
the peep show.
Deluded, like, all the fans love him and all this. And then Edge sort of found his place. And obviously we then slowly moved into the Rated R stuff and obviously the ledge that is Edge. So you go, well, you know, he probably ended up being the bigger star overall. But
it's weird, isn't it? Because they had the meteoric rise as a tag team together. Yeah. And they both had to separate to have their own meteoric rise because Christian was just about getting over. Didn't really. Then he got in with the Un-Americans and all that, didn't he?
There was that time. Yeah.
Well, actually, no. I think he had the Un-Americans, then maybe the Peep stuff, and then he was kind of a bit around. And then he was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to TNA."
Yeah.
And obviously became.
But he was ace in TNA.
Yeah. So yeah, they've both obviously gone this singles trajectory, but this match was so cool. It had a bit of everything. Darby's a madman. Christian is a
Darby is a madman.
And you know the fact it was 2 out of 3 falls. I think we always knew it was going to go one fall apiece, and who was going to claim the final one. I think
I'm not even going to in any way suggest that I don't like Darby like you normally suggest because this was a fucking good match.
Yeah, and hopefully, obviously, it looks like he's fucked his arm up pretty bad. So hopefully he's okay and it's not actually seriously like damaged or broken or anything.
Sure, he'll be fine.
Fingers crossed.
Bryan only was out for a couple of weeks. He'll be fine.
But obviously Christian did retain because Nick Wayne turned on Darby.
Did, little bugger.
So what a little shit he was. But just as Sting came down to try and make the save after the match, he got beat down as well. Lights go out.
No. We're about to do a concerto, aren't we?
Oh yeah,
an iconic move.
Lights go out, and then boom, Adam, Rated
R
superstar.
You think you know him?
He's there. He's in AEW. What the fuck? What the hell?
A move that a lot of people, including Kurt Angle, thought would never happen.
Exactly, and there we are. It happened. He's signed. He's going to be there frequently.
On this day.
I am very excited for this. Very much.
There's so it's the same reason that Edge is so excited about this, and you listen to the media scrum, the same reason that we're so hyped is the same reason he's so hyped. He's like, so many people have not faced so many possibilities. It's like, exactly.
Yeah. And so many, like the fact he can go up against Christian again, and the whole fucking history there. The Hardys are in this. It's just like so many things you could do. Imagine down the line if Edge and Christian kind of get back together as a team. We said this before, and we have like the Edge and Christian, the Hardys, maybe bring the Dudleys back for a bit. What about Edge and Christian versus the Acclaimed? I want to fucking see that.
Yeah.
I would like, for the benefit of those with flash photography, bring that back and stuff against the Acclaimed.
How good would that be? And let's be honest, I don't know how you feel about this, because this isn't my particular favourite moment that you'd probably get, but like the hinted at Brood Edge so much in WWE, AEW would actually be willing to bring Gangrel back briefly, and you'd have pretty much the full Brood at that point.
Yeah, to be fair. Well, yeah, because the Hardys are part of it as well, the original incarnation. So
you could actually revisit the Brood. You could not directly, because I think there's probably some copyright stuff there.
Yeah.
But like WWE weren't willing to let Gangrel come back for that entrance, really, even just for his entrance for some reason. And you're like, well, you're calling him Brood Edge for fuck's sake.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'd like to see a bit of a break from that for a bit, because I feel like when he was back in WWE, that was all he was doing, wasn't it? Brood. I don't particularly want them to go towards the Brood. I would sooner, like you say, you go towards like him, them versus the Acclaimed is probably my favourite idea. But I know that AEW probably would want to touch on nostalgia, and that would be one of the things they could do. Yeah, and the fact
quite
is,
easily. So
everyone's clamouring for the Rated R gimmick to come back, and like
I think he's actually hasn't he? Haven't they like literally put it in quotes above his name? Like, when he came out,
exactly.
Rated R,
so
Adam Copeland.
He's back as that, but obviously that works so much better as a heel. So we're gonna get a heel run with him as well. Like, fucking possibilities are endless. But massive coup for AEW, like
biggest star.
To be fair, like I know Tony was like a new era, and it's a very bold thing to say, but like this has just completely fucking blown the hinges off, hasn't it? Of like, well, where do we go now?
Look, there was a point, like, and this is no disrespect to Punk, when Punk made his comeback, that was like a huge thing, and it was like, this is a new era for AEW, the Punk era, if you will, which didn't last as long as people thought it would, but it was like, Punk's back in wrestling, that's amazing. And this, to me, tops it.
Yeah. I mean, if he forms some kind of faction with Darby and Sting, and then all of a sudden Blackpool Combat Club are like in the mix, and then we get Moxley versus Edge, and Claudio versus Edge, and Danielson versus Edge. And
I think he's mentioned wanting to wrestle like Omega in as well.
Oh, exactly. So
what's going on, man.
Amazing end to the show. What was, as we said, a smorgasbord of wrestling content,
a veritable buffet, if you will.
If there's a style of wrestling that you like, you found it on this. Aplenty.
As MJF rightly said, different flavours of ice cream, and they were all here.
Yes, they were. So let us know what you think of WrestleDream. Let us know it in the comments. Do the usual stuff, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Do it now, and we'll catch you on the next one.